What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the latest episode of The Layup.Line. I post NBA related videos to this channel at least twice a week, so if you're interested in that, you should consider subscribing. I'm pretty close to hitting my first 100 subscribers, so I appreciate every one of you that I already have and anyone that would like to join me on this journey. A commenter on my last video suggested the idea of losing the channel intro on these videos, so that's something I'm going to be experimenting with in some videos, or just opting for a shorter version of the intro. Anyway, let me know what you think of that as well, but let's get into talking about Karl-Anthony Towns. So at the start of the 2017-2018 NBA season, a GM survey showed that 29% of the league's general managers selected Karl-Anthony Towns as the top player in the league that they would choose to build around. That 29% was higher than the 21% that Giannis Antetokounmpo received, or the 19% for LeBron James. Fast forward to 2021, and it's easy to feel disappointed in Towns and the Wolves not capitalizing on the hype and potential, which is why Karl has gone from having a prominent position in the discussion of the league's best center to being a serious afterthought behind guys like Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, and even Rudy Gobert. Karl-Anthony Towns was an all-star and received all NBA honors in his third year, and we are at the point where he wasn't even discussed as a serious snub after missing 2 consecutive all-star games. Now, part of that is due to injuries. Cat missed a lot of time last year, and he barely played any games before the all-star break this season, but I've long felt that Cat is a guy who becomes invisible at times. He's forgotten in the discussion of some of the league's current best young players, and he's even invisible to his team at times. In Cat's 6 seasons, he has only ever led the Wolves in field goal attempts twice. This is my issue with anyone that wants to say that Karl-Anthony Towns is an empty calories or good stats bad player kind of guy. He could be taking a lot more shots than he does as well. The fact that he's maintained over 20 points per game on very good efficiency is a sign that the scoring can get even more impressive if he was ever to get some more talent around him. Karl's offensive skill set is also incredibly versatile, which makes him one of, if not the most scalable centers in the league. And because the Timberwolves have failed at cohesive roster construction over Cat's tenure in Minnesota, Karl's reputation has taken a hit as a guy who isn't good enough to get wins. That's just not true in my opinion, and that's led to him becoming underrated. The one knock on Cat that I do think is valid is that he isn't a great defender, and although I do think he has improved, center is just way too important of a position on that side of the ball for him to swing below and slightly above average on any given night. Some of this is effort based, which you would expect to improve in a better team context with better coaching, but defense is also played as a team, and if Minnesota's guards are always getting blown past, of course Cat looks bad not being able to cover up all of their mistakes. The real reason I think that Karl-Anthony Towns is underrated is because I don't think that we acknowledge just how much of a monster this guy is on offense. Karl is one of those 7-footers that started playing basketball as a guard, but because of a growth spurt, he now has guard abilities with some true size. His 3-point shooting, for example. Karl is a true stretch big, taking at least 3 a game since his second year, and that provides functional spacing for an offense. There is nothing worse than a stretch big who doesn't actually provide spacing, because defenses will still choose to sag off of you if you're shooting either too low a percentage or too low on volume. You can't try that on Karl-Anthony Towns. He's pulling often and at a very good clip, so defenses will have to respect that. On top of that, the guy will move when he doesn't have the ball. Just think about this. How many centers in the league do you have to chase around through off-ball screens because they have that much shooting gravity? Cat clearly has a lot of basketball IQ, and you can tell in how he uses his scoring gravity to create looks for others. Cat isn't talked about nearly enough as a passer either. Now, Jokic is easily the best passing big man. Obviously, Cat isn't on that level, but he's been quietly upping his assist numbers, and he's currently at 4 a game. Cat makes good reads and difficult passes, the kind that also explain why his turnover numbers are so high, but again, that's something that I think could be fixed next to better teammates with better spacing that will give Cat these better opportunities to get the passes through. He makes good passes on the move, from the top of the key, out of double teams, Like I said, you can't run your entire offense through him like you could with someone like Jokic, who can really handle the ball. But KAT's off-ball movement does make for a phenomenal secondary playmaker. When he gets the ball after a screen, defenses will break down, and that's when I really trust his decision making to score or to just get creative with it. Karl-Anthony Towns is the unicorn that Porzingis was hyped up to be. He is legitimately skilled on the perimeter, a better 3-point and mid-range shooter than Kristaps. The size also gives him legit advantages in the post, more offensive rebounds than Anthony Davis, while still being one of the better post scorers in the league. And the defenses are rightfully obsessed with doubling or fronting Karl-Anthony Towns when he starts to post up, because there are very few people that you want taking him in single coverage. Even when you think you've done your job as defense, just because you were able to push KAT out of the post and he's forced to catch the ball around the 3-point line or a deep mid-range, he has no problem facing up and just causing hell. The man could have an argument for the best shooting center of all time if he can keep having seasons like he did last year. Most impressively is that the shooting does not come at the expense of any post scoring ability like you would see with a guy like Porzingis. He's also an above average passer for the position. He has areas of improvement that he can make on defense, but I do think given the right help and system, KAT can be a neutral to positive defensive player. So I just find myself asking, how does a guy this good keep getting underrated? But those are just my opinions. Leave a like if you learned something new, if you like what I do. Comment if you disagree with any of my points or just my general stance that KAT is underrated. Follow me on social media for previews of upcoming videos and live reactions to games or transactions. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.